Legends, welcome to the Culture Standard. I'm Bo Vernon. I'm here with my co-host Chris Andres, and we're not the experts, as we've mentioned before. We're just two blokes looking to get better at life and break down the best books, podcasts, and people, and impart wisdom onto others. So today, though, it's actually a YouTube video. It's a speech. It is a book which we haven't read though.
Yeah, mate, it's an absolute ripper from Rick Rigsby. Most people wouldn't have heard of him, I don't think. He's a, what do you call him? He's a professor. He calls himself a bit of a preacher, but there's a 25-minute video. I urge everybody to go and have a watch of it because it's a great speech, greatest speech of all time for me, I reckon, that I've ever seen. I'm not sure about you, Bo, but what do you reckon? It's right up there.
Yeah, I love it, mate. You sent it to me. I hadn't seen it before, and yeah, watched it, and I'm like, oh yeah, love this. And what I resonate was just the messages he had in there were key, words of wisdom, and also having a bit of a laugh as well. So just really love it. We'll put the link in obviously the show notes. I think it goes for 25 minutes, but I reckon a lot of people get a lot of things out of it.
Yeah, it's he articulates the way he speaks so well, doesn't he? If I can ever be half the speaker that he is, I'd be wrapped because I don't know, the way he speaks, the way he flows it, there's a lot of seriousness and great, he hits the points, but then, as you said, he's really funny, like he cracks a few jokes, and I laughed and nearly cried through the 25 minutes. It was, it's a great speech.
Yeah, awesome, mate. We're having to record this a day after recording our episode 3 with Riley Batt. I'm going away for wheelchair rugby, so we're getting a couple done now. How's your day been, mate? How you going?
Today, yeah, been a pretty cruisy day.
Yeah.
Can't complain really. It's beautiful weather, day off, so
you beauty, mate.
Can't
you
complain.
Beauty.
I just wish I haven't been able to get into the surf for a while. I was almost keen to go this morning, and then playing footy tomorrow. I'm like, should I just
First game of footy back tomorrow. How you feeling?
Yeah, ready. I'm keen to get into it. I don't think I'm quite. My body's not quite ready for it, but I'm keen to play.
I'm looking forward to seeing how you go. Who you got? Are they any good?
I couldn't tell you, to tell you the truth. There? I don't really know who we're playing. I just show up and doesn't matter who it is.
Just rock up and have 40. Where are we? Yeah, I've had some testing today myself at wheelchair rugby. Just thought, oh bugger, I'm not getting out of uniform. Just keep the singlet on, keep the guns out.
Let everyone know it's one more week and not less than a week, and you will be flying around in Adelaide.
Yeah, that being said, this is going to come out the day after it finishes.
Yeah, we are recording this early.
Stitched up there, mate. About luck, yeah. And trying our luck with outside recording as well. We'll see how that one goes. But just didn't mention it on the last podcast, but since doing this, I just feel like I'm just going way better as a person. And it's like you invest some time into yourself, and we're obviously doing some learning ourselves and stuff like that. I just feel like I'm being much better human, much better father, husband, mate, and all those things. What about you, mate?
Yeah, definitely feel it as well. What points do you reckon that you notice, like, because we're learning and we're trying to figure this stuff out as well? What areas do you feel like you're just,
I think,
certain things do you have you noticed?
Yeah, I think when you start just doing things to take care of yourself and try and grow, it just builds those deposits that we talk about, and just naturally I'm feeling energized by life. I'm feeling better. And then that means I wake up in the morning and I'm aware of my energy towards my kids and my wife straight up. So they're just some initial ones, and then just awareness of what I want to be doing in life and how I want to be going about things through journaling and just the people we're chatting to. We had a great conversation with Riley Batt, the greatest wheelchair rugby player of all time, and a teammate and a mate of mine. We did that last night, and just learning.
Yeah, what a great fella.
Other people, eh?
Yeah, great fella he is. He lit up the room when he walked in, and just being around, like him coming in with that energy, it boosted me straight away because I'd just driven back from work. I was a bit flat. I'd been driving for an hour and a half, setting a few things up, but he came in high energy, and it got me up and about. And that's one key thing I've been doing in the last, and I think you mentioned it to me. When I get home from work now, I might be a bit flat. I'm driving home, or I've just had a big day. It's easy just to walk in and still be flat, but I've kept it in my mind now to walk in with high energy. It's up to me to set that tone.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I walk in and do that, everyone else feed off that energy and they're up and about, like in my house, rather than...
The difference it makes on your family, your partner, your kids, well, boy, you just doing that, I reckon, is amazing. And
Yeah.
they definitely feed off it the other way as well. So sometimes you need to fake it until you make it, I reckon.
Well, it
And
gets you up
fake
and
it,
about.
And then yeah, exactly. And then you feel it as well, and everyone's feeling like. I did a bit of an experiment once coaching footy, and I was it was a cold winter's night on Phillip Island. Everyone, it was freezing. The first 5 or so people that walked in the doors, where you could just feel the energy being flat. I was flat, and I was like, bugger, I'm just gonna go over the top with a bit of energy when people walk in. How are you, mate? Get around them, and then next minute the rooms were buzzing. We go out to training, and I reckon it was one of the best training sessions we've had. So that's just that energy, and then I felt, I was knackered that night. It was cold, and I was just like, I didn't have that much energy towards it. But afterwards, I'm way up and about, and people feed off that energy, and it's infectious. And
Yeah, it's awesome.
yeah, it happens the other way as well. If you're talking
you're
to someone
down and
that's
out.
a bit flat, it's like, fuck,
Yeah.
come on, mate.
I remember you telling me that story, and I think that's why I started doing it when I walk inside, just from that story you told me. But it's exactly the same the other way. If you stay flat, everyone around you becomes flat, and it's just it's like a domino effect, isn't it? So it's been the key one for me in the last couple of weeks has been that. So
Well, I love it, mate. Love it. All right, we're going to get into a few points out of the YouTube clip that we watch, and we'll have the link to. First one's just around laughter. Fun is a great source of medicine. Rick Rigsby used humour so well throughout. I don't want to say it was the funniest thing ever, because one time someone said to me, "Oh, that movie, it's so good, it's so good." I went and watched it, and I was like, "Yeah, it was all right." But if someone said to me, "Oh, that movie was just okay," and went and watched it, I would have thought, "Oh, it was amazing." But there's some few gags in there, mate. What do you reckon about that?
yeah, that's why it was so enjoyable. I think it had everything in it. Like had the wisdom, as he speaks about it, had the humour, the comedy. That I had a great laugh with some of the stuff he says, a lot at his own expense.
Yeah, taking the piss out of himself.
Yeah.
I love that. I was probably never good at it until I got to about 20 years of age and was doing some tradie work. You learn to be able to take the piss out of yourself.
Yeah, that's right. No, so I love that part of it. But then, he hit the points, and they were really heavy a lot of the time, and they resonated. But there was obviously quite a sad story in there as well that was emotional as well. But so it just had everything in it.
Yeah.
I just felt like
you have a couple of gags
you're up
for
and
us
down.
that you had?
Couple of gags.
Yeah, I've got a couple if you want to have a think. Or
I've got one. The one that I tell you that I like is he's quite a heavily set guy, as he even says on there, because he talks about feeding him chicken wings and that. But that was another gag. It's hard to explain unless you listen to it. But he talks about when he met his first wife, and
got the dog going nuts here. How are we going?
he talks about his first wife, and how everyone couldn't believe that she was going out with him.
Yeah.
And he explains that, at that time, which is probably still relevant, people liked quarterbacks and running backs and all that. But it's probably not funny when I say it, but he said that The Blind Side hadn't come out yet. But the way he explained it, I was pissing myself. You got to watch it to understand it, I think.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny.
He got married to that woman as well, and he's like at the wedding, he's like, people are going, "Oh my God," and he like, "How's this happening?" Him with her, and he's like, "It was coming from my side of the family." It was pretty funny. Yeah. Another one he started off with in the words of King Henry VIII, and what he said to his 6 wives. I won't keep you long.
That was a good one.
Just taking the piss.
I love
it.
The first time his wife met his dad, which is his hero, he pulled him aside and said, "Is she crazy?" There's just a lot of gags in there. And,
it's good. It was good, and but I think to the point, like it's all well and good having a laugh and stuff like that. To the point, I think it's a source of medicine. Now, I think if you're trying to achieve something in your life, like right now we're imparting some heavy stuff onto people at times, but don't take yourself too seriously. Enjoy the now. Have a laugh along the way, and you'll be so much better for it. And I'm loving doing this podcast. I'm getting bulk laughs out of just some of the stuff we're doing. We're taking the piss out of ourselves and just having a good time whilst we're learning as well. And I'm really, really loving that. I think as a youngster, I probably struggled with it a little bit. Trying to be an AFL footballer, I probably just, a bit too serious at times. And I wish I just enjoyed the journey and made sure that I wasn't taking myself too seriously and having a laugh along the way a bit more.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Culture Standard is all about having a laugh. Humour is is it humour?
Humour, yeah, laughter.
Laughter or humour is the best medicine. And I do want to leave you with another quote that I know that Bo loves. We've heard it before, but I'm going to repeat it again. We come here with nothing, we leave with nothing, everything in between is a bonus. So laugh along, don't take yourself or anything too seriously.
My daughter listened to some of our podcasts, one episode, I think, and she heard that quote. Now it's up on her door. She's a determined one. That one, like, yeah, she's anyway.
I love that.
I don't think I had that level of knowledge or want at that age to be doing that stuff. So it's good of her. But I know vividly a couple of times in my life that I was struggling. A few weeks after I hurt myself, couldn't really move my arms, and I wasn't able to eat for a few weeks. And the nurse started feeding me some ice cream. If I was able to swallow that, I was then able to have some peaches. And at the end of the bed, while she's feeding me the ice cream, Dad picks up this bowl of peaches, brought them up to his mouth, and went to start eating them. And I swear my legs nearly started working. I wanted to go there and tackle him to the ground, but that was just Dad having a laugh and in what was a tough time. And another time I needed a needle in my stomach every night for the first few months. And this first year uni student, she was on placement, she's going to stick the needle in my stomach, and I started screaming in pain. And she's like, "Oh, sorry." And I didn't even feel the needle go into my stomach, let alone any pain. So just times like that. That was obviously a real tough time of my life, but just having a laugh there really helped me get through some of those times.
Yeah, definitely. I can even relate massively to the job I do as a firefighter. You go to some pretty heavy stuff, some stuff that you're traumatising, I should say. And it doesn't sound great when you say, but we all joke about some of the stuff because it's such a coping mechanism. It it keeps your spirits high, and I think it just laughter, joking, and all that is just critical in anything in life. Can't take everything too seriously, but it's a great coping mechanism when things are sort of pretty heavy, just to have a bit of a joke. And
definitely make sure you're getting some laughter, some fun, and some joy into your life through those means. All right, that was first point. Second point, I love this one. Character over image. Focus on being good, a good person, rather than looking good. Focus on being good, a good quality human, rather than looking good to others.
Yeah, I love that. And this goes back to I'd like to talk more about this because I've had a few people speak to me that I know that have listened to the previous podcast when I mentioned that about money and saying, we've got to stop worrying about money so much because they're like, everything's so hard to live now, we need money. And I'm like, absolutely, I'm 100% with you because it's so difficult at the moment. It is. But my point more is, don't stretch yourself. Don't go buy the house worth $1.5 million if that's your max, and that's going to stretch yourself, and then you can't live to your values because you're working constantly. You can't go out on the holidays that you want to take your family on. You can't let your kids do sports because you can't afford it because you want to look like you've got this successful house. Go buy the house that's worth $800,000. Have more money. Don't go and buy a coffee a day if you can't afford it. Don't, have it at home.
We've got in a habit that these luxury items are, we feel like they're necessity, but I know when I grew up, I didn't go out to the pub for dinner. My parents wouldn't be getting a coffee every day. And
I can't tell you a time I went out for dinner as a kid growing up. Not once can I remember in my mind a time we went out for dinner. Not once.
Definitely.
So I just think that's what I'm trying to portray more than don't worry about money, because obviously we need money. But it's more, there's areas where it's because we're chasing the image is why we're chasing more money, if you know what I mean. If we just took a step back and worked on being, a better person or worrying about who we are as people, we won't worry about that as much. Therefore, it just gives us way more freedom.
Definitely. This all stems from, so the book and the speech is life lessons from a third grade dropout. Rick Rigsby is talking about his old man. He dropped out of school when he was 8 or 9 years of age, and he goes, "He's the smartest man I ever met." And what he did for a job was a cook. His wife was a forklift driver. His dad was a cook, and he was the smartest man he knew. And I just think that's great because we're all, and I've been known to do this sometimes myself. You go after achieving things and doing more and more and more, but it comes back to just being the best person we can be, not do as much as we can and have as much as we can, trying to create that image. And I think it comes down to ego a little bit there as well.
Ooh, don't get me going. You want me to rip a quote, do you?
I think I deliberately dropped that one because I know you're passionate about it.
I love this one. Ego is the anesthesia that deadens the pain of stupidity. Pride is the burden of a foolish person.
Can you say this? Can you say that slower? I'm struggling to get me head around it.
I can't say that word properly, so I don't want to do it again. Ego is the anesthesia that deadens the pain of stupidity. And pride is the burden of a foolish person. So,
what are you saying there, mate? Can you break that down a bit for us?
Everybody has ego. I'm not going to say I don't have an ego. My whole sporting life was based around ego for such a long time.
Yep.
But to have an ego in certain situations, it's such a negative thing, I feel. I think you got to remove an ego to be a good person. If you have an ego, it's always about you.
Yep.
If you remove the ego, it's not about you anymore.
Yep.
So to me, ego, if you've got an ego, that's deadening, because it's the anesthesia, it's deadening the stupidity, so you don't feel the stupidity, so you're getting blinded by it.
Yep.
Whereas you clear that up, you can make clearer decisions that aren't about you, therefore you actually end up being happier. Like how good do you feel when you do something for someone and they're just real happy with it?
Oh, it makes you feel amazing.
So
Best thing ever.
that's what I mean by it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Did I break it down all right for you?
Yeah, no, it's great, mate. It's great. There's a person that has had, I reckon, I'm going to say he's had the biggest influence on my life outside of my family, is my boss back when I was 20 years of age, Andy Walton from Phillip Island. I was a painter. I was at uni. I did 18 months of a business degree. I went and did a PT course, was going back to uni, going to do some PT on the side, and I got working down Phillip Island over summer. And Andy, or Lipper as we know him, was a family friend. I started working with him, and I just learned so much from him. And he's one of the best humans I've ever met, and he was a painter. And it just says to me that, like, I don't care what job you do, you surround yourself with good people and all that, I love painting. I think about it and I think it's one of the worst jobs ever. But I absolutely loved it because I had such great people there, and Andy was one of them. And I just think his character as a person is next to none. He taught me so things about, positivity, optimism, way to talk to people, work rate, work ethic, relationships. He's just a high quality human, and
we're all about
like Rick Rigsby says about his dad. He's a simple cook.
Yep.
He's a painter, and I think we can sometimes be striving to do these amazing things when it's just about who we are as people.
And I love that example. It's just, I love great character in people, but he obviously set a great culture around his business where you wanted to stay. You had plans to do it for the summer and go off and do it. But you stayed doing it because you loved it, because of that culture just wanted you to stay there. You enjoyed it because of that. And that's people being good people. That's what keeps you there. So that's what we're all about at the Culture Standard, isn't it? So
yes, sign us up. Culture Standard. We actually got our first sponsor on board, Robe Society. You've seen the robes yourself. I've bought a couple for my wife and my daughter a year ago. So it's not someone that's come on board, but just now. But I bought them a year ago, and they absolutely love them. They're the comfiest robes ever. They're you got a winter version and a summer version. So if you live up in Queensland, that summer version may be more appropriate. But they've got both kinds there, and they're doing great things at Robe Society. Get on their socials, check them out, because they are great. My wife and daughter absolutely love them.
Yep, I second that. If I can look good in these robes, which I do, you can too.
We're gonna have to see that, I reckon. You're gonna have to come out in an episode in the robe.
Yeah, I will.
Oh, jeez. All right, mate. You got anything more on character over image, or you want to run on?
Not much on that. I just have another little saying that he says in there, and it's just because you finished school at end of school doesn't mean your education stopped. And I like that because I feel like my education started when I left school. I feel like I took the piss out of school.
Yep.
I didn't really care much for it. But my education didn't start till I was in my 20s.
Yep.
My real education. And So that's
living and learning.
And that's what we're all about here again, growth. So always growing. And I feel like we don't want to stop educating ourselves. We don't want to stop growing, and we don't want to stop teaching others.
No.
So I love that one too. Yeah.
Definitely, mate. I love that. School has its place, but the real learning is in life, I reckon, and our experiences, failures, like we've talked about before, and stepping out of our comfort zone and things like that. So
that's the failure one. So I got another quote. He says, Rick Rigsby says it in his speech.
Yeah.
My worry is not that you won't succeed. My worry is that you won't fail from time to time.
Yeah, I love that one. He's saying that to the uni students, isn't he? I'm not worried that you won't succeed. I'm worried that you won't put yourself out there to fail from time to time. And we know that as society. We're big on this. We're trying to protect everyone from everything. We know, though, those deep down, those hard times, those failures are really what shape us into better people. Cool, man. All right, I'm going to get into something a bit deep here. Just before we talk about it, I just want to say that, we're not experts. This is all just general chit chat from us and
couple
of blokes trying to learn themselves. But one of the key messages out there was keep standing. His wife, the hottest thing he's ever seen, the lady that everyone was like, how the hell has she married this bloke? Blindside hadn't come out yet. Big dark bloke, and she found a lump on her breast, and they'd had two young boys at that stage. I think they had just had their second one, and she lived for another 5-6 years, and then passed away. He said his heart doesn't beat for 2 years post that. He's down in the dumps and struggling. But at the funeral, his old man, the 3rd grade dropout, goes to him, no matter what you do, you keep standing. You keep standing. You keep going. You keep going. And this is coming at a hard time to say a little bit. I get influenced, affected, I suppose, by these things a bit more in a sporting sense, even though they're happening every bloody day. But Jordan Dawson, the Adelaide Footy Club captain's brother, has just passed away, and it comes after the Selwood twins as well from Geelong. Oh, didn't play at Geelong, but Brisbane, West Coast, have taken their lives as well. And I don't know, it just hits real hard. And one of the key messages there is just keep standing.
Yeah, as you said, it is happening every day, and it happens a lot more than we think. We just don't know about it until somebody that's known does it.
Yep.
And we still hear that so often. So you think about how many people there are compared to that. There's a lot of people.
The stat was, I don't know if it's the same, 8 Australians every day.
Yeah, that's sad to think, really, because people just feel trapped. They don't know anyone cares, or they don't know how to get through it. And that message there that helped him get through that, that there would have been one of the hardest things to ever deal with. You got 2 young kids, your wife's just passed away, and for his dad to have that effect on him by just saying, just keep standing.
Yep.
To me, it resonates with me, because I've been through tough times as well, and what got me through was understanding that everything passes in the end.
Yeah.
Even like recent passings of my nan and stuff like that, and another lady that was pretty much like a mum to me.
Yep.
They were the hardest times I've had in the last 10 years easily. But it goes away. Like, it doesn't go away, but it gets better. You get better at dealing with it. And it's one of those things that you said, how the more times you do something, the better you get at it. So you get better at dealing with these things. You get stronger at it. And yeah, it's just, I just want more people to know that these things do pass. You just got to keep standing for the time that you're in it. Keep standing, get through it. And there is light at the end of the tunnel. You just got to keep working through it.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Well said. I suppose after I hurt myself, I thought, what's the point of living if this is what my life is going to be? And far out, if I was able to act on that at that stage, I don't think I ever would do that. But now I look at my life, I'm like, I love life. And it's like that roller coaster photo that we've showed in a previous episode, that life is filled with ups and downs. A big takeaway out of that is every time you're down, you come back up and you actually grow from that experience. And something Rick Rigsby says is rock bottom is a great foundation to push off. And that moment for him, those 2 years, were no doubt the toughest time of his life, but he was able to push off that bottom, propel himself forward.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm at a point now after going through tough things, and I would never be like this if I hadn't. I can feel like I can lose everything. I'm not saying family and life. I mean, financially I can lose everything, lose the house. I think I can still be happy. I'm like, and I think that just takes time. You have to go through the hard things to get to that point. So you come through the other side every time if you just stick with it. So
just on that. So keep standing. Time things get easier. Reduce the expectations you have on yourself. I think sometimes we expect to be able to deal with a lot of situations and think that we're supposed to be fine. It's fine not to be fine. If you need it, seek help. I don't know, Chrissy, have you ever gone and seen anyone before for mental health?
Yeah, heaps. And even when I was better, I was seeing someone once a fortnight, just because all high achievers, they see psychologists and stuff like that, because you need to stay on top of it. And it just helps understand yourself better, helps you make better decisions. So I was seeing someone when I felt fine, just because I wanted to keep understanding myself. And this is when I mentioned, I define myself as a success or a failure. I learned this through the period when I was actually feeling pretty good, but I wanted to understand more of why I got frustrated about certain things, why little things were triggering me. And I learned through that was just because I really struggled dealing with failure. Like I just had to succeed at everything. So learning that, I'm just feel so much better about it, and it's helped me. I don't get triggered as much.
There's this scale I seen once that you'd probably only go see someone, say 0 is baseline. You'd only see someone if you go into the negative. But if you're at 0, why not see someone and get to 3, 4? -5 to 5 scale. 0 is sort of baseline, and quite often we won't see someone till we get to -3, -4, -5. All right, but even if you're 0 or whatnot, seeing someone to just help you self-improve at life. And I don't think it has to be a psychologist. Not talking down to my wife here, who's a psych, but I think it can be listening to podcasts like ours, and Tony Robbins was a great one for you to start off with.
What's this one called?
The Culture Standard. Tony Robbins, and there's a lot out there. And it might be a mate or a family member or someone like that, or a mentor as well, that you can just confine in different times as well.
And the key is not to stop. You got to keep at it. You don't just get to the point where all of a sudden you start feeling good. That's enough. I'll go back to what I was doing. Keep trying to grow. Another thing I like about the speech that he speaks of is that excellence is a habit. So therefore, it's what you repetitively do. That's what excellence is. It's not. You can't just have it.
Probably goes into our next point of his last point, like our last major takeaway. And we could have taken a million things away from this 25-minute speech, but he's like, a couple of days before his wife died, she said, it doesn't matter how long she sort of lives for or you live for, it's about how you live it. And he just goes, how are you living? How are you living? Like, how are you being as a person? What are you doing? And we don't have to have everything under control all the time and feel amazing all the time. But what habits are you getting in place? How are you going about your day? Are you coming in the room, sooking, or you're going to fake it until you make it, like that energy we talked about earlier in the podcast? And it's just how are you living?
Yeah, I love that too. How are you living? It's so simple words, but it's hard to tell people that though, because this was coming from someone that was dying. I reckon you gotta, once again, it's how many times did you get told in your life that, and now I understand it, but by older people, say in their 40s and all that, they'll tell you something when you're 20 and you'd be like, shut up, and not care. And I don't know how to get it across properly to people that it is wisdom. People have been through it, they understand it. So everything we speak about, it's because we've either experienced it or we know someone that's experienced it, or we're taking wisdom from other people that know. So the how you living thing, it resonated with me just massively because I've lived through some stuff, and now I'm at the point where I'm like, it's all about how I'm living, and I think about that all the time. I want to be happy and joyful as much as I can. It's not about much else really, and I want to be good to people, want good people around me.
Yeah, definitely.
So
that's a big one. Surround yourself with good people. But some things that he has just around be kind to people. You know, this is stuff that his old man taught him as well. Be kind to people. Don't judge people. You are what you repeatedly do, which you've mentioned. You know, what you consistently do is that's who you are as a person. If you get up and you're grumpy at your partner or your kids or something like that, it just flows into something else. It flows into something else. It flows into something else. If you're listening to a podcast, you're gaining one bit of wisdom off, Chrissy, and you're gaining one bit of wisdom off Riley. Riley Badu come on the podcast, the Culture Standard last week. One bit off them, one bit off them. It just flows into who you are and how you're living. Yeah.
I would also like to emphasise that he is the way he is because of his parents. And as he said, he's a 3rd grade dropout and his mum was a forklift driver. So status, title, whatever you want to call it, you look and think that's not much, is it? You've got a cook, 3rd grade dropout and a forklift driver. And the things that they were preaching to their kids growing up were, you can aim, I'm not going to have a problem if you aim high and miss, but we're going to have a real problem if you aim low and hit. That was one of them. Another one was, if you say you can and if you say you can't, you're both right.
Yep.
These are the things they got taught as kids, and it shaped them into what they are. So I like to emphasise the point that what we say to our kids is important, but how we model it is way more important. Yeah. He remembered more. He does remember all those sayings, but he remembers his dad doing these things. He remembers his dad waking up. He started 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, I think it was, at the uni to do the cooking.
Yeah.
And he was leaving home at 3:45, yet he only lived 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
And the mum asked the dad once, why are you leaving so early? And he said, we might be lucky enough that one of my kids will catch me in the act of excellence.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason why he was doing it. He wanted to keep showing his kids the importance of building habits and all that sort of stuff. So I just wanted to,
And we understand how hard it is as parents, time poor and the demands of life and stuff like that. So we're not expecting people to get to places.
No, I'm not saying
early or anything. But
I'm late all the time. I'm late all the time.
It is a great analogy though of just action and your kids seeing you in that, doing that. You can say whatever you want to people, but they become what
it's just having integrity, not letting kids see that you're going to say one thing and not do it. So it doesn't have to be the getting up early doing that. Anything, whether it's whatever you say, just make sure you're seen doing it.
Yep.
I feel like for kids.
Yeah, and if you're gonna do something, do it right. So mate, you got anything more on your how you living? Life lessons from his dad and his wife?
No, there's a few quotes that I like that I'd written down, like pain can become purpose and all those types of things. I don't know if you want to go into them, but I think we've touched on all that sort of stuff. I really urge everybody listening to go and listen to the speech. It's 25 minutes. We'll put a link to it. I feel like it's changed my life in some way. It's given me a bit of perspective and understanding of a lot of things. So I urge you to have a look.
No, lovely, mate. And I think when I was 17, I had this bloke come speak to us. And I took one key message out of what he had to say that's had a positive influence on my life in a massive way. So if you can just grab onto one of these things in our talks, it might be a quote Chris said, it might be one of the key points there that we've spoken about, and just take that and adapt that into your life a little bit. Can potentially have a huge impact.
Just got one more. I just read it on my sheet. No, it's not a quote, I don't think. Oh, well, it sort of is. It is.
Far out. I am getting bitten by midges out here. Something shocking.
I thought you couldn't feel it.
Well, I can only feel it here. So my legs might be shot as well, I reckon.
Lucky we're nearly done. So I have, vision is the ability to see the invisible. And he says this quote when he's talking
Say
about...
that again.
Vision is the ability to see the invisible. And he says this quote when he's mentioning that his dad said people's automatic reaction is to walk away from somebody that's different.
Yep.
But he urged his children to stay and get to know those people. And that's going on with the act of kindness stuff we're doing, I think. I feel like that's a big one. Like, just because somebody's different, it doesn't mean you don't give them time. I feel like we really need to sit down with those people and talk to them and get to know them. I feel like there was one point in my life, I worked a lot in Melbourne at one point, and there was a lot of homeless in Melbourne, as you've probably seen or know.
Yep.
I went through a stage where I'd sit down next to homeless people. If I seen one, I'd go inside of, say, because they were out front of, let's say, little convenience stores a lot. So I'd go in there, I'd grab a bottle of water or whatever, and a sandwich or something for them. I wouldn't never give them money because, unfortunately, a lot of the times they would use that money for drugs. So I'd buy them something to eat and drink, and I'd sit down next to them and I'd just talk to them. And half the time they'd talk back, half the time they didn't really want anything to do with it. But the times that they talk back and everything like that, they'd tell you their story, and sometimes the story was like, I felt so bad for them. I was like, I just want to help them, but I just feel like we need to be more vulnerable to those people and try and
it comes back to
help each other.
Don't judge people, be kind. And something that I probably have some regret on as a youngster, I struggled probably to behave in a way that I would hold, say that was in the right way these days when I was a teenager, for people that were different to me. But I am so thankful that my kids get to grow up with their dad in a wheelchair that's a bit different, to other people, because then they are just aware that everyone's different. It doesn't make you better or worse, no matter what you do or who you are as a person. So
that's a great outlook, mate. That's awesome that you think that way.
Alrighty, mate. Thanks for that. Episode 4 of the Culture Standard done and dusted. Rick Rigsby, the life lessons from a 3rd grade dropout. We had laughter, fun is a great source of medicine. We've got character over image, so who you are as a person over how you're perceived is more important. Keep standard. We're not experts on that in particular, but you are not alone. You are not alone. Everyone has their tough times, and you are worthy. And we're all, it's time to get through different issues, and time does make things easier. And then lastly, how you living? How you living? Be the best version of yourself. We're big on you get one life to live. Let's live it to the best of our ability. Cheers.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Enjoyed that one. And until next time from the Culture Standard, adios.
Legends!